If you would have told me in late 2023 that 2024 would see the release of not one, but two different rhythm game peripherals that were based on the 5-fret Guitar Hero formula, I probably would have laughed in your face, but here we are. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Neo S Purple Wave Edition from a company called Cracked. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Cracked, I was a little at first. They make very solid third-party controllers for devices like the Nintendo Switch, Android, iOS. They first got on my radar when they released a product called the Nitro Deck, which is basically an all-in-one controller for the Nintendo Switch, where you can just sort of dock it in a Steam Deck-like housing, so you don't have to worry about two different Joy-Cons and them inevitably drifting. I'm pretty sure the Nitro Deck uses Hall effect joysticks, so no drifting ever. It'll always feel great. And then one day on Twitter, they posted sort of a silhouette, and a lot of people were confused as to exactly what it was. I threw my hat in the ring and tried to very incorrectly estimate what this device would look like. I was way off. A lot of people mostly took away from it that it was going to be heavily inspired by Guitar Hero on tour. And to spoil it a little bit, this is a direct comparison between the two. You can see there definitely was some inspiration used there. But that's for good reason. They didn't exactly rip anyone off here. Cracked aren't the newcomers that a lot of us thought they were at first. They're made up of people from a company called RedOctane. Yes, this RedOctane. We're in good hands. As soon as I learned this, all of my, I was a little confused about the controller at first, about the ergonomics and stuff like that. As soon as I learned RedOctane was behind it, all of my fears were just quenched immediately. I knew we were in good hands, and I'm very happy to report, just jumping right ahead, this controller kicks ass. But before we talk about the Guitar Hero part, I want to talk about the actual controller part. As a controller, it feels really, really good. The D-pad feels really solid, which I'm very thankful for, because it seems like a lot of first-party companies completely forgot how to make D-pads this generation. Shoulder buttons feel awesome, no matter if you are like a person that uses their joint or the tip of their index finger. No matter where you press it, you will be able to hit the shoulder buttons. It feels great. The triggers feel good, not a ton of travel there, which is what you want. The face buttons are nice and springy. Genuinely, they feel great. The joysticks, I believe, are Hall effect, which means they will never ever drift, which is obviously a very good thing. They also have the perfect amount of travel, nice clickiness, and my favorite part about this controller, there are two programmable buttons on the back, and listen to this. As a third-party controller, I'm kind of pissed at myself for not buying a Nitro Deck myself, because if this is the quality that Cracked is working with, I've been missing out. As a standard controller, this feels really, really good. As a Guitar Hero controller, they did kind of the unthinkable and made a tiny form factor that actually works really, really well for Guitar Hero. Obviously, as you can tell by the front logo, it's meant for Fortnite Festival, and it does work great for Fortnite Festival. I played a couple songs with it. I didn't play too much Fortnite Festival with this thing, but yeah, it works great. It works exactly as you would expect. No issues whatsoever, no notes for Fortnite Festival. I then tried it in Clone Hero and YARG. So tried YARG first, and yeah, once again, works perfectly fine on YARG, no complaints whatsoever, paired right up. I was able to remap everything. So then I tried Clone Hero, and no notes. It works great for Clone Hero, everything mapped perfectly. There is a companion app you can download just in case the controller doesn't map correctly in the software that you would like it to map in. It's surprising, because you wouldn't expect this form factor to work as well as it does, especially if you're used to a normal full-size guitar. Going to these little tic-tac sized buttons, you would expect them to be a little less reliable, but they're not. They're nice and clicky. They almost feel a bit like mech frets. I don't know if that's the technology inside of here or if it's silicone, but they feel nice and springy like that. I don't get any wrist fatigue playing like this. As mentioned, this controller works on iOS, Android, Nintendo Switch, and Windows, and I was most excited for this because I finally have a controller where I can play rhythm games on the go using my ROG Ally. And yes, it works perfectly fine on the Ally. As you can see, I tried a slightly different control configuration here. Legitimately, I didn't think I would have as much fun with this controller as I did. Obviously, with it being a lot smaller than a typical guitar, it's gonna take a little bit of time to get used to. So if you bought this thing and you only played with it for 10 or 15 minutes and you don't think you like it, don't just put it down and never touch it again. Keep trying, keep playing with it. The muscle memory will eventually click, and you'll eventually be able to do fast sections. The only complaint I have, and it's not really the fault of the controller itself, it's more so there's no way where you could put a strum bar on something like this. The fast strumming segments are a little uncomfortable because you basically have to spam your thumb as fast as possible on down, or you can try rocking really quickly with up and down. But this just doesn't feel as reliable as a strum bar. Obviously, it's not trying to be a guitar controller. If you're just playing on non-pro mode and you're playing just like the vocals or whatever with these, perfectly fine, perfectly comfortable. And even if you're playing some later songs on pro mode where there's a lot of like tapping or a lot of hopos, but not a ton of strumming, this is still a very comfortable controller. If you're looking for a portable Guitar Hero controller to use on something like a Steam Deck or an Ally, I genuinely cannot recommend this enough. It is so much fun. There's nothing else like it on the market. Does it replace a Guitar Hero guitar if you already have one? No, I don't think so. But as a companion for on-the-go play, this thing is awesome. Genuinely cannot recommend this thing enough, especially when you consider the price. This bad boy is only 60 bucks. If you know any Guitar Hero fans that don't already have this, it would make a great Christmas present. Yeah, genuinely very, very excited for the future of what Cracked has, if this is anything to go by, because this is such a fun little toy. There's nothing like it on the market, and I was genuinely very impressed by it. So, yeah, this has been DanRock. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and take care.